See, I'm only smoking a cigar. I was gonna.
That's all right, John. You all right with us, man? Welcome to another edition of Rap Like Sports. We have a great treat for you guys today. We have a legend in basketball, period, from college to NBA. He's been in the movies, Bad Boys 1, 2. He's also a Bad Boy Detroit Piston. He's been in the movies. He's owned his own dispensary. John Salley.
Hey, what's up?
Appreciate you, John. Appreciate. Yeah, there it is. See what I'm saying? You see my background. I got you with the rings. I got you with the rings.
I haven't seen them rings in a while. I put them on tour, and they were going around, the autograph sessions, and I was getting like $20,000 a year. Then the dude disappeared.
Oh wow! You got to find those.
They won't be gone long.
Well, we appreciate you blessing us with your presence, man. We've had several guys that you know on the show. We've had Chris Broussard, Scoop Jackson, Jay Billis. So I was like, we got to have John.
Who those guys? Who they play for? WNBA?
Hey, so Harry, he just started already.
This is a good one already.
I want to see Chris Broussard, but I love Chris though. He be letting them have it. I said, boy, for a light skinned boy, you about to lose your job. You about to Nick Cannon yourself.
Hey, well, listen. Here's the great part. Here's the great part. We got you on our podcast. Yeah, so man. When you answer a question, we just let you go. You don't have to worry about nobody interrupting you.
Oh yeah, man. I found out when I stopped working for other people, I was
okay. Well, let's jump into it. I got to salute because you're a legend, Georgia Tech. I'm from Atlanta. You're like one of the only players that I feel like wasn't scared of Jordan. Like you're rare. Like most people don't say the stuff that you say. Like you know what I'm saying. Like, you can speak your truth. You seem free, as the young generation say. So to be free and to be a black man and be free, I'm just thankful to have an example. To have an example to be able to look up to. So let me first start off like that, and let's just hop into it. With today's world and the times we got going on, do you feel that, I'm gonna say, the black athlete, should they step up, say something, or should they just sit back and collect the check?
You want to know what would really change everything? And I can say this because I'm not playing. This is a trip because I would have done it if I was playing.
Okay.
Since they all get along and they all date the same women, and
that's the truth.
I'm telling the truth. True. Since they all date the same women, we all do the same thing. What if, I remember when Jim Brown had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he had Muhammad Ali there, Bill Russell, all these guys, and they were standing behind Muhammad. What if all of a sudden, all these guys finally had a conversation and they just didn't show up? Not got there and didn't play. That's disrespectful. That's like going to work and pouring coffee on your computer. Just don't show up. Don't answer the phone. Like, we got Blackout Tuesday. I own a black business. God bless Killer Mike and T.I. for even igniting the fire for me to do it. I've done it before, but now I do it with such diligence. Opened up a vegan restaurant called Cafe Organics, connected to my Plant Organics, which is a CBD store, which is pretty soon going to be a dispensary. My daughter and I own a brand called Deuces 22. She's the CEO. I'm the chief visionary oracle. And if they just didn't show up, see, the one thing that they didn't realize, that when Kaepernick was taking a knee, for some reason they made it known that only a couple of other players were mentioned. I think they should have mentioned every player that took a knee. and had a picture of every player that took a knee, the rest of the players that didn't would have. That would have changed, or at least got the conversation going, to the point where George Floyd changed the world. And I just saw from May 23rd, the cops arrested and did here in California, a guy dancing on the street. And it's all over the internet now, but he's dancing on the streets. Cop come, he goes, no, I'm just dancing, having a good time. He goes, all right, we're going to stay here. He said, okay. Next thing you know, 5 cop cars show up, 5 other cops. They rough him up, push him in the car, and he's talking to him like, why are you doing this to me?
Mm-hmm.
So even then, even after seeing what the whole world saw it.
Right.
No one missed it. There was a couple of blind people that were rubbing their eyes. Like everyone saw it.
Right.
So if every player were to do that and said, we're not going to entertain racists, we're not going to entertain y'all, everything would have changed. But it's easy for us to say it because we don't have a contract. And those guys have a contract. They don't just have a job. This is a contract, independent contract with this team to perform. Not do anything else, but to perform. So when Carlos and John Smith and Tommy Smith put their hands up, they took their sneakers off so Adidas wouldn't be mad.
Right.
Took their shoes off, said this has nothing to do with them. And we're going to stand up here in a silent protest. When those two did it, I remember Jesse Owens came in trying to talk to guys before, telling them they shouldn't do this, don't do anything, let it work out. In order for it to work, you have to stand up in unison. It can't be in pieces. And I think if we would have focused on every player that took a knee besides Kaepernick, it would have made a bigger difference in Kaepernick's life, and we would have seen athletes as different people, especially black athletes. As far as the social injustice that's going on, it wasn't going to stop it. That's proven because George Floyd death didn't stop certain bad cops from being bad cops. Now, there's a lot of good cops, but there's a lot of bad cops.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think if they would, I think what Kyrie is doing is great, but he should have an understanding with a unified front with other players who believe and feel the way he does. We can't stop the police officers from being who they are.
Right.
But bringing acknowledgement and paying attention to it, I think we can do that.
Yeah, I was gonna go there with you, but you already answered with because it seemed like that's what Kyrie was trying to do, and kind of got a little pushback. Do you feel that just like what you were saying that when we try to come together, like in units and as athletes do, that the media wants to come in, change that narrative, and then pin one player against another player, so there's no unification.
So we were designed as Africans enslaved here in America to not unify. So it's 400 years of divide and conquer. So it's almost like in our DNA, when you took 2 batteries that are positive, they repel each other. I think part of that deal is we've been trained that, and we also been trained to believe that a job is important.
Mm-hmm.
A job, and you better not lose that job. That's a good job. You mess that job up. Never ever put into the position of owning our own.
Gotcha.
We can own our own, but it's hard to do. And when you talk to other black people through white media, it's not going to work in your favor. We don't have any black media. We got Roland Martin, but these guys don't know to go get on the Roland Martin show. They don't know to go get on Ricky Smiley's show, the D.L. Hughley show.
Right.
They don't know you go through the radio, you build slow. Plus, 54% of most black people in America live below the Mason-Dixon line. So you're not considering the Texas and California and Chicago and Detroit. 54% live below the Mason-Dixon line. And unless you get all of them online, unless we get to a place where we can go. We used to go to Ebony and Jet. We can't do that anymore.
Right.
We have no outlet. That's one particular outlet. Like I'm developing a platform that I'm going to hopefully invite you guys to be on.
Okay.
Where you get to do your show where you're doing your show, but we also want to put your show on our platform. We're doing a complete Black platform. And it's going to be run by the internet. Since the president, God bless his soul, for not putting any restrictions on the internet, which they were trying to do before Obama went out. With no restrictions, sky's the limit for us. We just have to see the value of unity. And once we see that value, it makes all the sense.
Gotcha.
We'll just try to switch it up from the pros. You was a good Georgia Tech man. How do you feel about college players being paid, or you think they should be paid? And if so, should everybody make the same amount of money, or should it vary depending on who you are?
Man, not only should they get paid, I should get back pay. Let me tell you this, when I was at Georgia Tech, Coach Crimmins so against us getting paid and so against us taking money that the one time one person was nice to me my junior year, he was nice enough to leave a car for a weekend with a key in it.
Okay.
He didn't report it stolen, and I drove it and brought it back. But my teammate, I'm not gonna say his name, punk ass, Bruce Downpool, he told Coach. He told Coach that I had the car, man. I had to run for a week. And all I did is drive the car. Coach Crimmins was like, you're not going to ruin this whole program because you want to look cool in a Corvette. Yes, I am. I want to look cool in the Corvette. It's not going to make the program look better. So he was so against us making any kind of money that when I talked to a guy who played for Memphis, I'm not going to say his name either, William Bedford, he drove cars, had condos. They were taking care of him. I lived in a dorm until it was time for me to leave.
Wow.
I had to shower in the place with shower shoes on and go to toilets that had 4 stalls. Like, he did not let us move anything out of being a regular student. But we weren't regular students. Let me explain why. I got to college in 1982. My scholarship was $41,000. It cost $10,000 a year at that time. Our first game on television was on a late night CBS. It was on a local thing, but it ran on CBS late at night. And then we played in the ACC tournament, then the NCAA tournament, and I think we made something like $1 million.
Wow.
Well, so I found out the Division I money we make in Division I pays for Division II and Division III. So they were saying that they couldn't give us any money, and we couldn't make any money. So I was a student, but I had more restrictions than a student. Because a student can get, they go on scholarship. I said, I know people on scholarship, academic scholarship, that got jobs.
Right.
But I was on an athletic scholarship and I couldn't have a job unless it was in the summertime. That right there was a form of slavery to me. And especially if I'm wearing a jersey and you selling my jersey, and we got pictures and we got posters and we got figurines that look like us, that wasn't fair. These players should get paid, especially with the amount of money that they're making. This is why you got to have a good wife. A good wife brought me the holder. Way to go. Like that.
Man, you have more fun than anybody I know.
Hey, you ain't got no ass, boy. You be looking around. But anyway, so I think they should get paid, and I really do. I really think that it's important to give these guys some. Guys are losing their scholarship. Teams are in trouble for guys getting suits. They now are going after Duke for Zion. Like, they're the Gestapo. They're out there. You can't even get the NCAA to talk about how much they're making, how much the officials are making.
Right.
To be overseers, black on the plantation. So I think it's back to that situation. They do need to get back. I was a part of that lawsuit about 12 years back, trying to get them to do something right with us and pay them. So I think it's an important thing. Even if they paid, think about this. If they paid the players $20,000 a year,
mm-hmm.
and you got 12 players on the team, that's it. To tell you how big of a joke it is, when the team gets a sneaker contract, they pay the coach.
Yep.
For what? His ass wears shoes. He ain't even. That's not. You're not showing him. So how he's sitting around making $1 million, $2 million, $3 million for a sneaker deal, and y'all giving them free sneakers to put on to do? It's advertising money. They're paying advertising money. They're paying that school $3 million to advertise them, and they're making $3 million a day. So I just think some of that should be kicked down, or players should be able to get the deals they're going to get. Because if you don't let them get the deals they're going to get, they might start throwing games. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying.
I got you. Because they're trying to figure out how to get money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did you? I was always interested, and I don't know if anybody asked you this question, so I hope they haven't. I hope I'm the first. But what was it like for you when you left New York to come play at Georgia Tech? You know, that cultural difference between New York and the ATL.
So just to let you know, when I got to Georgia, I liked it so much that when I graduated high school, I graduated on a Friday. I was in Georgia the next Friday, and
wow.
only went home 1 week per year, and to the point where I moved my entire family. I moved my entire family to Atlanta. So I get to Atlanta. To tell you, Super Bowl weekend. I get to Atlanta, and I'm on a flight with the Atlanta Hawks, and they all in first class. I see my number's 22. I see John Drew wearing. So I see him. I go, yeah, there go Deuces right there. I come down. I get off the plane. I had a black flight attendant. Never saw that. I get off the plane. There was a black guy there with a red jacket from Delta. How you doing? I can help you, man. This way the baggage claim. Coach Felton is sitting there, white dude. What's up, Spider? And I'm going through and I'm seeing black people. I come downstairs. The bellman is black. We get in the car. We going into the city. And I'm like, man, there's a lot of black people at the airport. He goes, yeah, Atlanta's 85% black. I'd never seen it. I get down, I get into the Peachtree Tower. Black girls at the front desk, fine. The guy taking my bag upstairs, I tipped him. He was amazed. I get in my room and I call my mother. And she said, well, how is it? I said, I'm going to Georgia Tech. She said, well, how's the school? I said, I ain't been to the school yet, Mom. I didn't see this many black people working since the pyramids were built. I'm telling you, it was a lot of black folks working. And then they take me to see Mayor Young. And I'm near football players, and I'm looking, this is Andrew Young, and I'm a black history buff.
Right.
And who he is. And he goes, you got any questions? I said, hey, you got subways here? He goes, yeah, we got a new train system called Martyr. And right now it's going to blow up. It's going to get to the point. I said, oh, that's what's up. He said, where you from? I said, Brooklyn. He said, you ain't going to paint on my trains, are you? I said, no, I'm not going to tell you trains, but thanks for asking. So I came in, and then that night, I'm downstairs because I just want to see what it's like. They dropped me off at the hotel, and they cleaning the streets. This is January. And I don't mean just cleaning the streets, blowing the dirt into the streets. Right. They blew it. They wet the streets. They went. I said, yo, this is amazing. And I went over to the AU Center, Clark, Morehouse, Morris Brown. That was it for me.
Yeah, I was about to say that really was a rap. That really
signed me. I was signed with blood. I committed to Georgia Tech before I got back on the plane back to New York, and I have been in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta. I got recording artists. Y'all check her out, Veda Pinkett. Just gonna go by Veda, and Devin Culture just dropped the record. I'm still in Atlanta. I'm living out. My mom just passed in January, but the house is out in Stonecrest. My brother Jerry and Ronnie and my nephew and nieces are there. Atlanta's still home to me, even though I'm from New York. If you ask me, where you home? I said, well, I'm born in Brooklyn, but I raised myself in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, I'm born. I was born here. What we say? I grew here. A lot of people flew here. But
Yeah,
this the best city, man. I can definitely understand that.
I want to do a movie.
Born and raised.
I want to do a movie, but they won't let me, so I'm gonna have to change the name. But this is the movie called Waffle House.
You just
8 hours in the Waffle House.
Just put it together. Make it one word.
You get Gucci Mane to come in.
Yeah.
Gucci tell the story one time. He was at the Waffle House with this girl. Her man showed up and saw her inside. He shot up the whole Waffle House. Just knowing that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah.
Waffle House is no joke. And even though I'm a vegan now, there's one thing I miss is those waffles. I think they had crack in them. I still do.
I had them old Coca-Cola. Hey, so how do you think we should move forward just in sports? We got the NBA coming up. They're doing the whole bubble thing. So what's your take on moving forward with sports? Should we move forward, or should we,
I wish I had 3 months to relax or to work on my body in the middle of my career. I think this time off will make players, if they take care of their body properly. I think this will make a lot of players' bodies last. I think this abridged situation they got going on is just to save some of their sponsorship money that they would have to give back. Mm-hmm. It's all about money, y'all. It has nothing to do with entertaining. It's all about money. So when you have a money situation like that, you have to start looking at it. If they only care about the money, then you should only care about the money as well. And you should treat it as such. A lot of people said to me, what was your favorite team? I played on 5 different teams. I said, the ones that paid on the 1st and the 15th. The ones that paid me on time is my favorite team. They said, which one hasn't? I said, they all my favorite teams. They all paid me on time. It's the only way I see it.
You just destroyed my question, because I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you that. But let me ask it a little bit different then. What was the team that you enjoyed winning a championship with? Detroit, the Lakers, huh?
Detroit Pistons.
Detroit. So okay. It
was my first team. We get there and we get to a game before going to the championship and we lose my first year. The next year we get in the championship and we go to game 7 and we lose. And then I win 2 championships back to back. So in my first 4 years, I played in more games in 1 year than I did my whole college career.
Right.
And my game changed. And my life dream to be a professional basketball player came true. And so I'm going to say that starts with Detroit. I enjoyed it with Chicago because I got to be with the great one on the greatest team ever. Mm-hmm. 72 wins, even though Golden State won 73, they didn't win the championship, so that doesn't make them the greatest team ever.
I agree.
And then just, the year before, 1999, I just happened to be watching. Remember, that was the half season. Before. Remember, that was terrible too.
Yeah.
It was that half season, and I saw Shaq and Kobe and all of them, and I called Phil Jackson and said, you're not going to let these guys not win a championship. And he goes, what made you call me? And I was like, Phil, you're not going to let this happen. And he had just signed the deal. So I enjoyed it because I was like a coach player.
Right.
You can possibly be. But winning that first championship after losing 2 years in a row, it's like you fight, you get it done. So I'm going to say Detroit.
Detroit.
So what do you feel is the best era in basketball?
Oh, mine. The 80s, the 90s. See, I remember I got in trouble for it. I said Michael's not the greatest player of all time. He's the greatest player of the 90s, and everybody went crazy. They had no idea. I had already told Michael I was going to say that. He was like, "Yo, they're going to go off on you," because Michael realized that they were choosing him, and he was just allowing him to be chose. He didn't, he didn't know that. He's not going to tell you I'm the greatest player of all time. He would never say that.
Right.
But our era, man, I can go through it. You remember in 1992 is when they picked the greatest 50 players of all time.
Right.
And that was good. They were trying to be nice to the guys playing in the 80s, but imagine Shaquille came around, Kobe came into the league, Garnett. The game had changed from being physical to being more finesse.
Right.
We became an international game since 1984 when, God rest his soul, David Stern, he and Michael Jordan took over the NBA. It became an international thing. Think about Michael saved the world in Space Jam, and video games have come into existence in the late 80s. And so you were able to play or be your favorite player, your favorite team. So I think the NBA figured out digitally how to get involved and how to get involved on an international level. So I'm going to say the 90s were the best time in the NBA.
Let me ask you this, because I'm like you said, you've done many interviews. People have agreed, disagreed with you on different topics. But what is the most misconception about John Salley?
Oh, that I didn't like Michael Jordan. They had no idea until they saw The Last Dance how close we were, and that was by design. Because I'm a Piston in my heart, and I was designed to hate the Lakers. I'm designed to hate the Celtics. I'm designed to hate the Bulls. And we were the team that showed up and did that. Like a lot of people thought I rode the bench. And I remember Nicki Minaj said, "You never balled, John Salley," not realizing I had played so much. So the misconception is that I rode the bench. And when you look at, if you go back and look, I played more minutes than some of the starters, and especially the people starting up in front of me. I tell people, I didn't start the game, I finished it.
That's true. That's true.
When finishing the game, that's crunch time. That's when you want your players in.
Yeah, that's when you want to be in the game. That's
In
when the game on the line.
In anything with women, you can start the romance, but you better finish off with a boom.
Or you gonna get talked about.
Go be.
Yeah. That's it. Hey, so what's been one of your best perks from being an NBA player?
I don't. The best thing is not waiting online. Most important thing is you don't get to wait online. You don't get to pick of the litter when it comes to good women, though. I was lucky to find one, but because you usually get what's in the swimming fish bowl, like what's ever around that wants to be in that lifestyle. But the perks of, because it helped me somewhat in Hollywood, but not a lot. It didn't help me until I became a Laker, because they were not feeling me as a Piston. So when I became a Laker, then things opened up here in Hollywood. More people were accepting of me, because most of the producers and people choosing were Laker fans. But I'm going to say the way I still got pulled over by the cops. I still got, at one time in Miami, I got pulled over like 2:30 in the morning in a brand new truck. They said it was a response that somebody had stolen the truck. I said, and driving the speed limit. But anyway, you still run into the same thing. That's why I'm saying, you no matter, like Don King said, no matter how rich you get, in some eyes, You're still going to be an N to them. No such thing as an N. Still going to be a nigga. So those things we still run across. But the perks, I don't really have to wait online that much. I used to be able to get in any club. I don't go to clubs anymore. My daughter's 32, and so I can't go to the clubs no more. But when I did, it was that love. And you really don't. They got different. They got really different on us. Cats will come at you if they know you have money. Back in the day, if you were a ball player, you were protected.
Right.
And now players are getting shot. So it's a different thing.
Different game. My last question I have for you, John, is what's most challenging, playing in the NBA or the entertainment world?
Oh. There's more people in the entertainment world than they are in the NBA. You're one out of a million people in the country of America when you're in the NBA. At one time, it's a little bit less now. I think it's 990 or 60,000 people is one NBA ball player. But in Hollywood, there's actors all over, and the craft is it's great actors you'll never see that stay on stage. They have more platforms in Hollywood to do things than they do in the NBA. In the NBA, you 94 by 56, and you gotta perform in that square or that rectangle, however you look at it. But it was in America, being a professional athlete is probably more important than being a president, because the president wishes he was an NBA ball player. Well, the old one did.
Yeah, right.
That was the cool part. I told him too. I said, "Man, get me to the house. I'll play you in your gym." I probably get tackled by the Secret Service, because you come up with that left hand stuff, I'm a throw it.
Yeah, he got a little smooth. He a smooth little lefty. Like he got a
smooth lefty, boy. I smack that lefty all over.
Yeah. Well, again, we want to thank you for allowing us, bless us with your time, bless us with this realness, showing the world what it's like to be a free man in a world full of slaves, however you want to look at it, man. You connect somewhere. So to be able to see somebody that I grew up loving,
I appreciate you, SB.
I should have wore your jersey, man. I got the Georgia Tech, man. I got the Georgia Tech Salley, man.
That's that love right there.
Salley.
I hope that one day I get a check for you having that jersey. I should put my own jerseys out.
You can.
You sound like Chad. You sound like Chad
out. The college one out. Put them on your IG.
I put my t-shirts out. They sticky icky, but they my cannabis t-shirts. But when that Deuces 22 get to your hometown, and if you're into the herbal, I'm your guy.
Listen, well, we can always do something together. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
black support black. How are we doing it? As long as we supporting each other, that's what we got to do.
You stay up, man.
Have you back for the just before once the NBA finals are set. The team. I love to get like you, Scoop, Billis, and Broussard together.
I know one of them. Yeah, I know. I would love it. I love it.
It's definitely been the best conversation we're gonna have. This wasn't an interview, man. This was a good conversation to have with intelligent, educated black man. So, once our viewers, when y'all see this, check this out. Do some research on John Salley if you don't know. Man, one of the best, a legend. We're gonna give him roses while he's still here. And again, salute for giving us your time. With that being said, our Rap Life fans, everybody out there, be blessed and be fresh.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my Rap Life t-shirt pretty soon.
Hey man, listen, you send notice the address. I'll put it in the mail tomorrow.
All right, good.
Got you. I just followed you on IG too, so follow me back.
Got you. I follow you back.
All right, appreciate that, man. Bless.
Appreciate it.
Love, Bo. Don't know that shit. Take it life, man.
Yeah.
Easy, John.
All right.